I trust, like,
I love the way that collectively. My favorite. You're going.
how should I do? Okay. Everybody, you know, the 70s are back. All right, friends. Continue. Oh, the
Here we go. Chat. We need chat.
Okay. Hello, happy June 1st, happy Pride, everyone. Welcome, welcome here in Minnesota, welcome beyond. It's an exciting time to be here in chapel today. We have such a treat. The Reverend Dr. Justin Sabia-Tanis will be leading us in so many things. So we're gonna sing, we're gonna listen, we're gonna reflect, we're gonna do some amazing liturgy. And those on Zoom, I will be posting the PDF of the bulletin today. So you'll get that very, very soon. And without further ado, I'd like to invite up the man of the hour, the myth, the legend.
Thank you, Nikki. Well, I want to start by thanking my co-conspirators for this, Scotty Hall and Jacques Miller, who are have helped me. We've curated together some resources and ideas on the theme of holy resistance in light of the many attacks on LGBTQ people, particularly trans people, in state legislature. Moment to begin Pride with a sense of holy resistance. And we'll be doing some things that hearken to the protest tradition of our queer movement. And so we're going to begin with some words of holy and then resistance. Holy by excerpts from the Footnote to Howl by Allen Ginsberg, and Resistance by Elder Darlene Garner, who is an African-American elder in Metropolitan Community Churches. Holy, 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 holy. The world is holy, the soul is holy, the skin is holy, the nose is holy, everything is holy. Everybody's holy, everywhere is holy. Every day is in eternity. Everyone's an angel. The typewriter is holy, the poem is holy, the voice is holy, the hearers are holy. The ecstasy is holy. Holy forgiveness, mercy, charity, faith, holy. Ours, bodies, suffering, magnanimity. Holy, the supernatural, extra brilliant, intelligent kindness of the soul. And I decided that I would never again allow anything to cause me to leave any part or piece of myself, that I would engage all, that I would enter life from a place of wholeness, not a place of brokenness, and no one would ever come between me and myself, my whole self. And that's kind of the way I've lived since then. So we're going to begin by singing Camp Round. The tune may be familiar to you all. You do not want me to lead this, so I need my friend Nikki back. Nikki, I need you. You know you don't want me to sing. So we're going to sing Dear Friends, Queer Friends. I know queer is not always a comfortable word for folks, but this is comes from the out of the fairy tradition and an idea of reclaiming what does it mean to be friends who are different, who are extraordinary, who are queer. Dear friends, queer friends.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna sing together. So this is an invitation to be sung in a round. But we'll see how we feel about that. And Zoom, I'm still working on getting your PDF. So you're here in spirit with us right now. So I'll start by singing us one way through, and y'all feel free to join in as you feel comfortable, and we'll sing it a few times together and see how comfortable we get, and we'll see how the Holy Spirit's working in this place. Great. Okay. This is our first note. Dear friends, queer friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I love you. Dear friends, queer friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I love you. One more time. Dear friends, queer friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I love you. I love you.
Hello, everyone. So this is a poem by Idea Shante, and it's, he's a Buddhist. If you prefer smoke over fire, then get up right now and leave. For I do not intend to perfume your mind's clothing with more sooty knowledge. No, I have something else in mind. Today, I hold a flame in my left hand and a sword in my right. There will be no damage control today. For God is in a mood to plunder your riches and fling you nakedly into such breathtaking poverty that all that will be left of you will be a tendency to shine. So don't just sit around this flame choking on your mind, for this is no campfire song to mindlessly mantra yourself to sleep to. Jump now into the space between thoughts and exit this dream before I burn this damn place down.
Good afternoon, everybody. This next reading is written by an author named Larry Mitchell, who was a very formative author for the gay movement. And this particular book is called, this particular book uses a word that is sometimes a little uncomfortable for folks, but it is a word that I love and use it with pride, and I use it with love. And the title of this book is The Faggots and Their Friends Between Revolutions. And I would like to just read an excerpt of this book for you today. As the energy of the men decreases, the faggots and their friends come above ground. They know they do not have much time before the men will notice. So, as quickly as they can, they begin to arrange themselves into an intricate new world. They need access to food and to warm spaces, to hiding places, to excitement and to each other. The great gardens of the fairies begin to expand, producing food in abundance. The fairies shower the plants with so much love that the plants, with gratefulness, produce all they can. Spaces to be in begin to be created around the great gardens, warm, woody spaces, softly illuminated. The faggots, passing as men, procure spaces all over the devastated city. Although the men have decided all the city space up and given each space a name so it could be used for only one purpose, the faggots turn everything they can get into spaces to live in and to eat in and to love in. The queens elaborate their dens in the rubble to create hidden places where one can live for long periods of time, safe from the cold, sharp eyes of men, and they elaborate their forms of outrage. The queens, named to commemorate the glorious past reign of the women, are also friends of the faggots. The men hate the queens and try in every way to exterminate them. The queens are not, however, afraid. They laugh at the men and taunt them for being so stupid and coarse. Sometimes the faggots join the queens to laugh at the men and tell them they are stupid and coarse. Usually the faggots sit and listen while the queens tell of their thrilling adventures and applaud when the queens once more escape the clumsy clutches of men. One night, deep in the catacombs of the devastated city, where the queens were dressing, one of the queens, in mock desperation, cried, "God save the queens!" Another queen, in serious explication, replied, "God needs a blank up his blank." I mean, really? Everyone knows God died last year. Oh, how did that happen? Well, the story is that one day a bunch of queens knocked on the pearlies and Gabriel, being, you know, simpatico, invited them in. The queens were lounging on a fluffy pink cloud, combing their heavenly white wigs when God spotted them. Not on my clouds, you don't, he screeched and ordered all the queens off his clouds. Well, you can imagine, after they split, things got pretty dull on those clouds. I mean, absolutely nothing of any interest was happening. Then word came back that all the queens were having a really hot time in their new home. JC, who was tired anyway of sitting on God's left hand, split to join his friends. God, always uptight about what the neighbors would think, simply died of mortification. Get your acts together, queens. We gotta hit those streets. Honey, you look like those streets done hit you. It's the new disaster look. You'd be great ad for war. Slap that silly queen and get his ass moving. The streets need us.
Thank you, Jacques. Could you share what year that was written? No, I'm good. Thanks. It's 1970 something.
1977.
So I invite you to join me. We're going to now do a litany, which is a modern psalm of praise. This was written by Reverend Jim Matulski, who was with us for a little while before he moved back to California. So this litany is comprised of chants from real protests from throughout history. So you are the bold parts. So United Theological Seminary stands in a prophetic tradition. Prophets teach us to proclaim liberation with words and with actions, with our voices and with our bodies, whether at worship or at protests. Let these chants be our modern psalm of praise. We pray today for an end to racism, joining the voices of the civil rights movement. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. We are grateful for the phrase, Black is beautiful, because it also taught us to say, gay is good. Inspire us with the vision of self-determination of the Black Power movement, who said, what time is it? Nation time. And whose voices we hear when we shout, Black Lives Matter. Unite our voices as we say together, no justice, no peace. We remember the courage to proclaim on Christopher Street and Christopher Street West, the places of the original Pride parades, and the gay Pride festivals and LGBTQ parades everywhere. 2, 4, 6, 8, gay is just as good as straight. 3, 5, 7, 9, lesbians are mighty fine. Help us live into an intersectional vision today with a sophisticated grasp. What began in this simple chant, and entwine in us a commitment to challenge racism and homophobia in all its forms. Gay, straight, Black, white, same struggle, same fight. Inspire us in us a commitment to challenge homophobia and xenophobia as we chant with those who marched with Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers. Si se puede, the people united can never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. We give thanks for the feminist movements, and we commit to unmasking the connections between misogyny and homophobia as we chant. Claim our bodies, claim our right, take a stand, take back the night. And we stand together in the struggle for reproductive rights, for access to birth control and the right to safe abortions, and a universal health care for all as we chant back and forth, pick whichever one works for you. Her body, her choice, my body, my choice. Our bodies, ourselves. Preserve in us a holy anger as we chant defiantly with the power of love that is stronger than death. Act up, fight back, fight AIDS, and then change to act up, fight back, end AIDS. Holy God of justice, goddess of the protest march and the action and the prayer vigil, spirit of the placard and the picket sign and the pink hat and the bumper sticker, we offer up our anger and protest and our praise to you. As our voices swell, may unity and solidarity prevail. Give us grace to hear each other into speech, to turn our silence into speech, and to transform our helplessness into agency and action. These are the songs of Zion that we sang in a foreign land, and now we offer them to you as prayer. Embolden us as we conclude, no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. It seems so important in this moment when there is such a strong backlash, such a strong reaction in state legislatures around the country to curtail the rights of LGBTQ people, particularly trans and non-binary people, and particularly our young people, our youth. To have legislation, for example, that says that people cannot behave as they do in the reading that Jacques read, that they cannot wear clothing, they cannot go in drag. This is not simply about whether or not you prefer to go to drag shows, but rather the government controlling what you have to wear on your body and how you get to express yourself and how you get to express that which you feel called and believe and understand yourself to be. The laws that say that trans people can't use bathrooms or locker rooms means that some parts of public spaces are forbidden to some members of our society and not to others. Right? The laws about public accommodations mean that I can't go everywhere that other people can go. And we know that all of these movements, not only are they deeply affecting our young people. I was talking the other day to some parents who are the ones fielding the calls from families from out of state who are asking how to move to Minnesota and who will be here to welcome them and which school district should they be looking at for their children. Because parents are calling every day asking how do they move their children out of Texas and Florida and North Dakota and come here so that their children can continue to receive medical care that they've already begun or that the children will need to have. Not permanent medical changes, not the lies that people are telling about them, but simply hormone blockers or appropriate mental health care or being allowed to go to school and have the child's name and pronouns respected as the family wishes. You know, when I was a kid, I would never have shared any of these things with my families. And so I'm so grateful. I mean, I was in this room full of people and they were like, we're so grateful to see trans adults who are thriving. And we're like, we're so grateful to see parents who support their kids. So we had like a little love fest at this reception. And I am deeply grateful that families like that exist. But I also am so deeply pained at legislators who, for political gain, are throwing these children under the bus with ample medical and psychological evidence about that. And I also recognize that here in our United community, those of us who are non-binary and trans among the student body, those of us who work here, that we're coming to this space from a place in which the world feels more hostile than it did even a year ago, and will continue to do so. And so that's why we felt it was so important in our conversations about this service to focus on holy resistance, to say that United is a place where we can stand, where we can make a stand for the humanity of all people, for the rights of people to express their gender in whatever way God calls them to do, whatever way feels right and correct to them. That it is an incredible blessing to be in a place where all people are recognized as being made in the image and likeness of God. To be blessed by God, to be fully equal as part of this community. And so I thank you for the work that you have done to make this into that kind of space. And I ask you to continue to stand in solidarity with those of us who are trans and non-binary as a part of this community, and to recognize the goodness of who we are. And I want to share just one last thing in closing, which is years ago, we had a Trans Day of Visibility service when I was working at Pacific School of Religion, and it happened to be the Feast of the Transfiguration. And so students for the part of the arts program, had written banners that had the lines of scripture for when God is blessing Jesus. And it says, "This is my beloved child in whom I'm well pleased." And it was hung from the ceilings of the chapel. And I've written about this before, but a trans student got up and stood behind the pulpit, and suddenly unbeknownst to him, because it was above his head, the whole congregation gasped because they realized the radical moment of a trans person standing under this lovely sign with the voice of God coming in a way I know you would approve, the ways in which those manuscripts had these captions. But this is my beloved child in whom I am well pleased. And so my prayer for us is that we continue to share that message of belovedness with all God's people. So we want to close with a word of prayer and then a word of blessing and a little protest song in the middle. So the prayer that we're going to read is from Reverend Polly Murray. She was a lawyer and civil rights advocate. If you haven't seen her documentary called I Am Polly Murray, it's truly, truly profound, and it's available online. If Polly were alive today, those who knew Polly speculate that they would have identified as transgender or non-binary. But Polly was an incredible lawyer and advocate for civil rights for people in this country. So Polly was also an Episcopal priest, and so had written this particular prayer that we use for blessing. Then we're going to sing a song known to protest movements near and far. "We Are a Gentle, Angry People" by Holly Near. And then we'll close with a blessing from M. Jade Kaiser from a website of litanies called Enfleshed, and by a non-binary author. So let us pray. Lighten our darkness, we beseech thee, O God. Teach us to no longer dread hounds yelping in the distance, the footfall at the door, the rifle butt on the window pane. And by thy great mercy, defend us from all perils and dangers of this night. Give us fearlessness to face the bomb thrown from the darkness, the gloved hand on the pistol, the savage intention. Give us courage to stand firm against our tormentors without rancor. Teach us then that most difficult of tasks, to pray for them, to follow, not burn thy cross.
Please join me. This is our first note. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. Again, we are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. Next verse, we are young and old together. We are young and old together, and we are singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing for our lives. We are gay and trans together. We are gay and trans together, and we are singing for our lives. We are gay and trans together, and we are singing for our lives. We are a peaceful, loving people. Like you mean it. Here we go. We are a peaceful, loving people, and we are singing for our lives. We are a peaceful, loving people, and we are singing for our lives. Last verse at the top. We are a gentle, angry people. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. Amen.
Receive this blessing. Though you may feel invisible, you are not invisible, nor are your struggles. The Holy One knows you, sees you, speaks your name with love and tenderness. The Holy One delights in you and accompanies you in struggle, an ever-present source of strength and wisdom. May you sense love's affirmation of your being and becoming. May you sense the divine power in you. May you sense your connection to your trans kin, those who came before, those who live today, those who are yet to come. There is so much sacredness among us. May you be assured above all that you and your life are precious, deserving of safety, respect, material resources, and love. We keep reminding each other and working together to make it so. Amen.
Beloved community, thank you so much for being with us today. Although Pride unofficially or officially starts today, but Pride is year-round. So take pride in ourselves, take pride in our community, and y'all come back and see us next week. We're doing Juneteenth. So we're hitting heavy hitters this week. So Reverend Dr. Jessica Chapman-Late and myself will come up with some amazing experiences. Would love to have you with us as we celebrate what makes us different, what makes us special, what makes us powerful. So y'all come back now. Have a good week. Thank you.